Well, hello and welcome to the last level of the Rising Sun campaign. And yeah, the question is going to be whether we can manage to win this one in the first try as well, just to finish up the perfect run of the Rising Sun campaign. I think the Rising Sun campaign overall is one of the easier ones, just given that there were a few kingdoms that AI just didn't know how to play, like the one with the depth, the last one with the Shadowified throne room, and still the fifth one and also some of the earlier ones were a bit tough, and probably today's one will be tough as well, as again we have Typhoon and AI is first player and we're second player. So yeah, Typhoon is always something that is a bit introducing some randomness, and also we have a stamp on receive tribute called Fawning Service, which means we automatically buy this event when for free when gaining a province. And yeah, now AI being first player means that we are getting attacked on turn 3 because AI opened with a ninja. And that already complicates things and makes us slower, but well, we'll see how this all plays out. And yeah, at first I would like to show you the kingdom cards, which you can see over here, although these of course don't include the kingdom cards from Typhoon. Actually, is there a Typhoon indicator here somewhere? No, okay. Because for Black Market, you can see the Black Market deck, but Typhoon, even though it is a predetermined sequence, we are not able to see the Typhoon sequence. Okay, only if we, I don't know, cheat or yeah, play the kingdom a few times, then we can get to map out the Typhoon sequence. Now, what does the initial kingdom have to offer? We have a bunch of strong Rising Sun cards, and actually, I think, I'm not sure if I'm mistaken here, but I think the last kingdom of a campaign always only contains cards from the expansion of the campaign, although no. I mean, we have a riverboat that has set aside a witch, which is a counterpoint to that theory, as witch is from the base game and the rest is from Rising Sun. Now, yeah, the kingdom cards are these, and let me, before I get the camera in again. Um, and yeah, these include some really strong ones, especially Tanuki, Ninja are super strong shadow cards that you can play from the deck. Riverboat with Witch also is not to underestimate, as you get to curse the opponent and draw at the start of turn, which is like an alright draw. Then we have Rustic Village as a village, nicely synergizing with Ronin drawing up to 7. And yeah, Poet and Rustic Village both to potentially cause a prophecy in progress to trigger. After 5 Rustic Villages or Poets or other omen cards that might be swapped in have been played, progress will activate. And sorry, progress says when you gain a card, put it onto your deck. And that means it accelerates stuff even further and also works nicely with shadow cards, as if you get to put them onto your deck, you can immediately play them. Now, another thing as that we have already noticed is that Fawning Service is on Receive Tribute, and that means we automatically buy Receive Tribute for free when gaining a province. And that's also pretty insane, because Receive Tribute, if we manage to first gain 3 cards this turn, we then gain 3 differently named action cards we don't have copies of in play. And that means, especially in a Typhoon Kingdom, where you're not likely to have, or where you're less likely probably to have cards, all of the strong cards already in play at the point of gaining or buying Receive Tribute, you will be able to get a few really nice things. So I'm actually not sure about the timing. When gaining a province, I believe we gain the province first and then receive tribute triggers, so we only need to gain 2 cards prior to gaining the province to properly trigger the receive tribute, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we will probably find out. And yeah, hopefully find out on the first playthrough. Now, the kingdom plot of the first kingdom looks as follows. The thinning is a bit on the weak side, as there is only Tanuki to thin, and that means that, yeah, Riverboat Witch is even stronger. And yeah, I don't know, it's pretty good to open with a Tanuki, although really the ninja attack also can be devastating. And yeah, opening wise, I think actually I don't think it's as bad opening Ninja Silver, because you get to get through your shuffle and are more or less guaranteed to hit 5 on the reshuffle. So Ninja Silver is probably a B tier opening, not C tier. Probably I'm also only trying to rationalize losing against AI here with while we have the 2-5 opening. Let's see. But yeah, we have the 2-5, and I think opening Tanuki is a no-brainer. Going for Fishmonger, you could argue about not doing that, but I don't think it hurts the first shuffle all too much. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just go for Fishmonger Tanuki and see where we go from there. And Fishmonger is already going to disappear, as is Imperial Envoy. And yeah, as I said, we were pretty likely to or get attacked, or we were almost guaranteed to get attacked on turn 3, but we can turn one of the estates into a ninja now, and on the next turn then we'll hit enough money. Well, it actually really doesn't matter unless we get attacked, and we cannot get attacked again. Can also, I guess we can just discard these 2 estates and then play the Fishmonger to hit 4 this turn. And it's just important to thin out and also get some rustic villages in. Yeah, let's, I guess, go for... Well, we could also think about next turn going for a 5-cost card and a 3-cost... wait. No, it's better to discard 2 estates here. Sorry. I'm just thinking out aloud, but playing the Fishmonger this turn is superior to playing it the next turn, as here we'll get to pick up a ninja, and next turn we'll get to turn an estate into a rustic village and probably go for just another rustic village. And be pretty happy about that. Okay, also, sorry, I'm not keeping track with the Typhoon. Sorry, everything is going on so fast. So here, Bureaucrat has appeared instead of Fishmonger, and also Craftsman has appeared, which can gain us a 5-cost card. And notably also Tanuki will disappear, and that is a pity, but at least we got our hands on 1 Tanuki. We get to, I think the best course of action is double Rustic Village, because we have 3 terminals now in Ninja, Tanuki, and the Fishmonger, and thus, yeah, probably just Rustic Village is best, although we could also think about a Poet, but yeah, no, let's just go for Rustic Village, probably turn the estate into another ninja. And do we just try to draw a bit more here, or do we buy a 3-cost card? Actually, I think... Okay, we could also go for a draw here with Ninja. What do we want to do? Next turn, what are we hitting? AI is probably shuffling, although... Is it? It played the Rustic Village that turn. It doesn't have any draw in there, right? only had one rustic village. Yeah, I think we just stop here, turn this into a rustic village, turn this into a riverboat, and then be on with our turn. And then we have a rustic village and a ninja down there, even though... Yeah, we can discard the ninja and something else with the rustic village to trigger the next shuffle, and that should be pretty beneficial. So let's put in this thingy and draw these two, discard the ninja in there, and now play the ninja, turn the estate into another rustic village, and probably just buy another ninja. Just maximize the draw we have. And yeah, I would have loved to pick up a Ronin, which we could facilitate by not trashing the estate here and just going for the fishmonger. But then we don't have a great target for the Tanuki next turn. But maybe it's worth... Yeah, I think it's worth it going for the Ronin before it disappears. And also note that the Snake Witch has appeared. And sorry, I didn't show you Militia, I didn't show you Snake Witch that has appeared. But Snake Witch is also going to be a nice target for turning coppers into something better. And thus, yeah, probably this is going to be the best course of action. We're getting attacked here, nothing surprising there. But can play Rustic Village, trigger progress, and that means we will top deck the Snake Witch and can immediately return it to curse the opponent. I think that's really, really good. Unless, yeah, no, I think we're guaranteed to curse the opponent and trigger a shuffle with ninjas in it and some village. Yeah, I think this is a great way to go on about our turn. Let's first play this. Actually, no, let's play the Rustic Village, decline that, play the Riverboat, and now play the Ronin. And finally, the Ninja. Right. Did AI get its hands on a Ronin? No, it just bought a Rustic Village. And I think we can either go for Fishmonger here and buy 2 cards, or also a viable option would be to just play the ninja and pick up another rustic village. Yeah, maybe that's best. Actually, just attack AI and ensure that we have as many rustic villages as we can to make it very likely that we have a nice start of turn. And yeah, especially with the ninja attacks, Ronin is such a nice counter. We do get to curse AI here again. And now a Rice Broker is swapped in, and Rice Broker is also a nice card, especially to clear out the last coppers. We should also think about now maybe gaining a Gold Mine or a Craftsman to just have more gains during our turn, which can trigger the Receive Tribute to its full effect if we go for provinces later. But yeah, for now, I think that we're fine with just reducing our hand size, cycling a bit here. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Get to Tanuki the estate into maybe a craftsman, actually. No, we aren't going to trigger Receive Tribute this turn anyways. But still, I don't think we need the rustic village just yet. Especially since we can just craftsman for 1 here. And yeah, I think this is pretty good. We get to draw deck here. And yeah, sounds amazing. Now, can we just buy a copper and then receive tribute? I mean, it is kind of bad to buy a copper, of course, but now receive tribute will allow us to gain Rice Broker, Gold Mine, and either Poet or Ally, although Ally is really not that enticing to put on top of our deck. And Poet later on might be a nice target for the Rice Broker, as you get to trash something that is an action. Or we could just go for a Poacher, actually, because, I mean, okay, the Rustic Village pile is going to empty, probably, and then Poacher will discard one card per empty supply pile. Curses are also going to slowly empty, but not too fast. I'm wondering, yeah, whether Poet or Poacher is the better choice. Let's go for the money. I think the draw-wise we're fine, pretty fine right now. And yeah, we get double cursed here. Of course, with progress, that's kind of a big deal. But I'd say, well, not much we can do about this at this point, and we do have the Ronin. I think the Ronin is a really nice advantage we have over AI here, even though it manages to curse us 3 times here. Insane. We probably just actually draw and trash a curse here, as it's the same as trashing a copper and drawing 2 cards now. And yeah, go for this Ronin to draw some rustic villages. And this can now do the Tanuki thing to also gain us another Snake Witch. Yeah, curses are going to pile rather soon, I believe. Could also gain a Sentry to help us with the thinning. But to be honest, I think I like gaining a Rice Broker more than that. Just to clear out those coppers. And yeah, yeah, sorry, I'm losing my voice here. But we get to clear out one of those coppers. Get to probably not discard here, as we might want to trigger the shuffle, which means that we don't get rid of we don't get to curse AI here. Yet, still, I think, yeah, I think we're in a fairly good position, especially since next turn we will be able to, next turn we should be able to do the receive tribute thing once more. Do we just top deck a Snake Witch at this point? Yeah, probably that's the best thing to do. And let's see what AI is going for. Okay, it trashes a Snake Witch, which makes sense for some extra draw here. It's probably going to curse us again, but since we have the Rice Broker, we can just do the same thing like last time. And just trash one of the curses and then play the Ronin later. But yeah, cursing and progress really is an annoying thing to happen. And yeah, what's the replaced pile? Okay, Artist is coming in for Ellie. And next up, the Bureaucrat and Sentry will leave the thing. Yeah, let's just play stuff. Play the Poacher now before anything silly can happen. We can play the Gold Mine to gain a gold onto the top of our deck. Do we want that though? Yes, but probably not before Ronin is there. Let's try to curse the AI. That's pretty good. We might draw a copper here, but that's fine. Or another Ice Broker, okay. But yeah, it's quite alright. Actually, let's turn one of those coppers into another Snake Witch and play this Rice Broker. Trash another curse and curse AI again here. Now we can put 2 nice cards on top. Well, we can put a gold on top and maybe another good card, which might want to be just another rustic village. And yeah, I like gaining a gold here, even though it puts us into some debt and we might not be able to buy any proper card. But nonetheless, yeah, we should be in a rather good position. This could also be a bureaucrat, as stupid as that might sound. And yeah, probably just... I should have swapped the order maybe, but yeah, just gain the last rustic village there. Play the fishmonger first, then play the Ronin. And now, yeah, we have our deck fully under control, or almost fully. Like we still have 4 coppers in there, and we are in a bunch of debt, but I would say we're in a pretty good position. And next turn, we should be able to start provincing, and with provinces will come some received tribute that is probably going to gain us um, artists and sentries and poets. I mean, sentry will only remain there for 1 more turn, but it should be good. And the only thing we might want to worry about now is snake witches and curses piling while rustic village is also piling. So yeah, I'm not sure what to actually go for here to buy. We want, I think it's just a snake witch still. And is there a way of AI gaining 6 snake witches cursing us twice? And no, I don't think so. And also getting rid of enough of its curses. Yeah, it doesn't have the gains, I think. It does have some scary draw and rice broker stuff, but it only has... Yeah, I think it has 1 snake witch left to curse us, then would need to gain the snake witches, return them to the pile, and curse us that way, and I don't think it's going to happen. That it's going to pile out here, at least. Now, what do we want to do? The top card is a curse, so we get to curse AI here as well. And yeah, we can do this, then play the rustic village, probably discard those 2 cards, and then play the Ronin. If we play, I guess, if we draw a rustic village, we can even play the craftsman. Now, do we have a win this turn already, somehow? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But maybe we should nonetheless pick up a change, as it is a nice card and it might do us well with gaining provinces. And other good cards from this kingdom. Let's play this Ronin, have some rustic villages. Okay, I guess the change is not going to do that much anyways this turn, because I forgot that we are in debt and we are not able, we don't have any other virtual money, virtual coin to properly ensure that we can get rid of it first, but it's fine. The snake witch doesn't need to curse anymore, so that also doesn't matter. We get to, yeah, I guess play all of our terminals, decline all this, play fishmonger. Now we can play the gold mine to gain a gold, and we get to play the Tanuki to gain a province, and that should trigger receive tribute, right? And that will top deck a bunch of good cards for us. Let's first top deck the province, then trigger this event, and top deck maybe Sentry, Poet, Artist, or change. Do we have the terminal space? I think we do have the terminal space for another change. And still... Yeah, then top deck these cards, and later on we will get to also nicer other things. And yeah, this artist is amazing. In principle, it could draw 7 cards, but I don't think we even want that. We just want to play the ninja. And then the last 2 cards are gold and province. But maybe it's nice to actually draw the gold as a... No, we can't change, man. I'm stupid. And we won't be able to province again anyways. Yeah, that means we do want to play this. And play the riverboat, although, no, actually it's better to just play those 2 changes for some extra money. And now we have, okay, with the poacher played, we have enough for, oops, we have enough to province again, and that means we get to receive tribute again, and thus top deck, well, top deck Sentry Poet, and that's pretty good in my book, I guess. And we can also top deck an artist if we so wanted to, but I don't think it's smart to go into that much depth at this point. So let's just leave it at this. It's turn 12 and we already have an insane deck going, especially with the progress stuff. We have a rustic village in hand, which is really, really valuable. And yeah, it's all looking fairly good. The received tribute stuff is also pretty crazy. And at this point, it might be better for our Tanuki to just early on remodel a province into a province to do some receive tribute stuff. Maybe before we play the artist, before we play, well, Sentry is going to disappear anyways, but yeah, let's see, okay. AI also gets received tribute, top decks an artist, and this might still be fairly close. Looking at all that has happened here. Yeah, we probably... I mean, we can play the poacher, just discard 2 cards and be on with the turn. Remodel, also scary. Let's also think about whether we have, in principle, enough gains to just empty the snake witches. Because we are ahead in points. And if we manage to, well, Tanuki into Snake Witch, change into Snake Witch, change into Snake Witch again, which might be hard because we don't have virtual coin apart from the one poacher. Yeah, that might not be possible. So we have one change, one Tanuki in principle, plus 2 buys from Goldmine, plus 1 gain from Craftsman, and that's all not enough to empty the Snake Witches. And yeah, okay, so that's not going to be a possibility. I would say we play the Poacher, discard 2 cards, and then first draw with this Ronin. Now, this for sure wants to gain another gold. We don't want to play the Craftsman just yet. Oh, we might still be able to do the Snake Witch thingy if we were to gain other cards that are able to gain us cards. That's interesting. Play this Rustic Village for sure. And yeah, this we've only gained 1 card so far, right? But we could just... Yeah, we also need to find another rustic village first to do more stuff, more of that stuff, more of the terminal stuff. But yeah, let's kill this sentry, I believe, just draw a bunch of cards and play Rustic Village, decline that, play another Rustic Village, decline that. And yeah, do we have any other means of mid-turn gains apart from Craftsman? I would like to not play the Craftsman to gain a province, to gain Craftsman Remodel and Snake Witch probably, to then be able to um, play Craftsman and Remodel for more Snake Witches. No, actually, we shouldn't have played the Gold Mine because that would have been the easiest thing to do. Darn. Yeah, I mean, okay, but yeah, the Gold Mine stuff is probably going to cost us, but what we can for sure kill is Snake Witch as well. Just draw a bunch of stuff here. Probably waste a bit of draw, but that's fine. And now we can think about whether this is a win in hand. We have already gained some cards. If Tanuki would gain us, let's say, province into province, then we gain probably top deck province first. No, it doesn't yet trigger because of course I'm stupid. What we can do though is Tanuki, or we can change and change again, pay off this debt, and that can turn this into a province. Now this event triggers. No. And we still don't have thingy. But now we first can, sorry, I'm confusing myself. We can first do some riverboat into, or whatever, into Snake Witch. And then change into province, which gains Craftsman Remodel. And then Craftsman Remodel both can gain us but in that case, we don't want to play the Tanuki just yet, but rather play the second change to. I'm very sorry that this is so confusing, but I'm trying my best to properly navigate this for a win. So now, yeah, we just get those gainers, and now we can. Well, we are running out of village space. But we do have 4 gains left, right? Yeah, we have the plus buy also. This should be a guaranteed win now with the 2 rustic villages. Yikes, what a way to end this one. Yeah, we get to play that, get to remodel Craftsman into Snake Witch, get to draw a bunch of stuff, and go for maybe a duchy here. Now we don't have enough money for the last 3 snake witches, so we probably need to be less ambitious and yeah, probably just not play this craftsman. But yeah, I mean, this craftsman might as well gain us another snake witch, but since we are ahead in points, yeah, we do win this game and thus win the campaign completely with first tries, which is amazing. And yeah, what a kingdom this was. I like finding this a bit obscure win on the last turn, although it is of course pretty out there with the province received tribute gains, and probably we could have also just provinced out or provinced so much that AI couldn't have caught up. But of course, it's much nicer to win before you give the opponent a chance to win on you. And it's also kind of poetic that a Typhoon game ends with an empty pile that has the imminent typhoon, big storm built up on it. So at the start of the next turn, the Rustic Village pile would have been replaced. But since we weren't quite, since the game didn't progress, it ends here with the 3 piles empty. And yeah, look at this deck. This was like the perfect deck for artists, actually. So many unique cards, and also, yeah, a lot of these can be found in AI's deck. AI had the advantage of having that second Tanuki, but I think what carried us here throughout this game was the Ronin. Getting our hands on the Ronin just before it disappeared, helping us out of those discard attacked hands, and yeah, I think that was the main game changer, especially since AI was first player and started attacking us with Ninja turn 3. And yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy this playthrough, although it was chaotic and fast and scary. But yeah, this wraps up this campaign. Victory, a full 10-star campaign, and pretty happy about that. Now, before we end this, I will show you the Typhoon sequence of this kingdom. You can see it here. I had prepared it before, but I promise you, I mean, you can believe whatever, but I haven't really looked at it, so I didn't know what was coming up. I just played it off the bat for um, however it was. But yeah, you can see that later on, or the next card to come up would have been Village, which also kind of poetic, would have replaced the Rustic Village. And Kitsune, also a strong cursor, but at that point the curses had already been gone. Yeah, in games with progress, cursing is just even more important, I'd say, because progress, the curses, getting them on top of your deck is such a detrimental thing to happen. And if you don't have good ways to deal with it, like we had with the Ronin and Broker, even just decreasing the hand size with that, you're really in for a world of hurt. And yeah, you can also see that some base cards went in there. So it's not true that the last kingdom is just the uh, the single expansion that we would have had. And yeah, also note again, as always, the first 2 cards, Samurai and Library, never showed up because they are the ones that would have shown up on the first 2 turns, at which nothing was happening. Yeah, and with that, I'd say we're done with this Rising Sun campaign and flying colors, and yeah, I don't know what else to tell you apart from I hope you enjoyed this video. And wow, 38 minutes. I'm sorry, this was such a doozy, such a long one. But yeah, I guess lots of thinking involved. And I will try to catch you in the next one. And until then, goodbye.